What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is July the 11th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and where big money is gravitating towards before CPI. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, like I mentioned, CPI is coming out in about 32 minutes. So that should really shake the broader market. Some points to watch for is obviously the general basket items. So under here, so the shelter services, that to be reduced. That's one thing that analysts have really been bringing up over the last several reports, is just how that has been continuously increasing. And on a side note, that's why the Feds like to look at PCE rather than CPI. Just the heavy weightedness of food and energy does skew these numbers quite a lot. But nonetheless, though, if it does come in lower than anticipated, anticipate the market to really rocket. Vice versa to happen if it does come in hotter than anticipated. So just be prepared for a lot of volatility. But going into CPI though, you do see the fear and greed index at 58. So people's appetite for risk is definitely there. And this is exactly how I said it was going to play out from yesterday. So assuming Powell's speech was going to go according to plan and everything, and he wasn't going to really spook the market, it was going to move into the greed sector from the neutral. So it's definitely a good thing. And you can kind of see based on a lot of the stocks that I'm going to be talking on, people's appetite for risk is increasing. So starting off with SOFI. SOFI is up slightly this morning. No actual news, but there was a Form 4 that was submitted after hours yesterday, and that was just right here. So 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, who is the general counsel, did receive, or I guess was awarded some shares, 1.1 million, and so that's locked up obviously for it looks like 4 years, beginning the quarter vesting date in June 2024. So pretty standard stuff. In reality, shorts did double the hell down yesterday, so they increased almost like 8 million shares. So similarly, if CPI is negative, anticipate shorts to be very active, but 17.99% of the free float is being shorted. And there was a new update. So yesterday the short interest I think was indicating like 18.5. So NASDAQ did report numbers. I kind of explain this every single time one of these reports come out, because just in case people don't know. But yesterday, NASDAQ did report as of June the 28th, there was 18.01% of the free float being shorted, 187 million shares overall are being shorted. So then what Ortex does is they take that information, calculate up to today, estimate of course, and this is how you do get 17.99%. So all in all, pretty good stuff. Right now with it at $6.61, some points to watch for is this pivot point of $6.75. So that's going to be the next strong resistance slash target. So if CPI again goes positive, anticipate for that to be touched. But on the flip side, I don't see there being enough for it to be above this, in all honesty. So it might just kind of bounce off of that and stay and hover around there. Flip side, $6.28 is going to be the next strong support. I don't see that being touched whatsoever. If anything, it might possibly flirt around that 650 mark, but we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on, SOUN is having a lot of good momentum. So this company, for the most part, was very silent over this last little bit. They did put out some pretty good news yesterday that I've already done a dedicated video all about, but it is piggybacking off of that optimism from yesterday. So it is up 4.93%. It is heavily shorted though, so it is at all-time high numbers. So 25.84% of the free float's being shorted. So something to keep in mind. So when it comes down to SOUN, it has proven itself that it can go up. So if it does actually go up, then shorts are going to be stuck in a very interesting predicament where there could be a squeeze. Again, take that with a grain of salt. But if you are one of those individuals that likes to look at support and resistance points, with it at 534, it is trading between this R2 and this R3. So 509 is going to be the strong support, and that's exactly where it kind of landed yesterday. And then 557 is going to be the next strong resistance slash target. Moving on, so QuantumScape, so ticker's QS, it is up quite a lot this morning because of this news. So it looks like Volkswagen Group, battery company, PowerCo and QuantumScape did announce having a groundbreaking agreement to industrialize QuantumScape's next generation solid state lithium metal. So yeah, Volkswagen is definitely very active in the EV sector. This company is heavily shorted as well, on a side note, as you can see if it does populate. So 14.99% of the free float is being shorted. So anticipate some rocking, so in a very positive way. So this one could definitely go up a lot more. With it right now at 726, it is trading between this S1 and this pivot. So 521 is going to be the next strong support, and then 860 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Given the circumstances, it could touch this pivot. I don't see it justified for it to stay above that, but especially with the heavily shorted stock and this news, similar scenario to Rivian could happen. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be a fun time for that. But Delta is getting a lot of volume, and they did unveil their numbers, or Q2 numbers. It wasn't necessarily all that bad, but as you can kind of see, just the base profits are down 29%, still did earn 1.31 billion. All in all, pretty good stuff ultimately. So let me know your thoughts on that. This company isn't all that heavily shorted. I don't know why Ortex keeps doing that, but 4.21% of the free float being shorted. It's so even though 4.21 isn't all that high, comparing what short's been doing, so shorts have, for whatever reason, randomly doubled down. I get it, their viewpoint, because a lot of consumer data that's coming out or has been coming out has been showing some signs of cracking. So maybe they're just anticipating the buying power to diminish, and that is why they were going to miss on their earnings, possibly. But Delta just said middle finger to the shorts, and yeah, so this one should be an interesting day. You should probably see shorts return some shares similar to what happened in May. And if you're looking at, like, obviously trading it, so with it at 42.70, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 47.55 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. I don't see it recovering past that point today. On the flip side, $40.21 is going to be that next strong support. And similarly, I don't really anticipate that to be touched either, so it might just be stuck in limbo. I'm actually looking at the 1 week chart, because looking at the 1 day, 4 hour, it's technically below all of them. So there might be somewhat of a recovery, not to that 47 mark, but it might flirt around that 44. So we'll just have to wait and see. Similarly, American Airlines is just piggybacking off of that negativity. So there is going to be a new 52-week low created for this company, despite there being no actual news. So American Airlines is really funny, even with it being at 52-week lows, I'd rather have Delta than American Airlines, just my preference. But American Airlines is a lot more heavily shorted. So 13.97% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 90.41 million shares. If you are looking at trading American Airlines, though, with it at 1062, it is trading between this S3 and this S2. So 1043 is going to be the strong support. 1080 will be the next strong resistance. Similar to Delta, I feel like it might recover to this S2, especially once people kind of wake up and realize that it's not necessarily American Airlines, it's Delta's earnings. So it's not really justified for this sell-off, unless people are tentatively assuming the same is going to happen for American Airlines. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that is floating your boat? Potentially which ones? Throw them in the description below. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.